This is Luxe and Lens. For the single moms choosing growth over guilt, power over pain, and purpose over pressure. Raw conversations, real stories, no filters. Let's begin. Hello, gorgeous Luxe and Lenses. I hope that you are well. I am flying solo today because we have had such disasters with power and such. And unfortunately, Courtney couldn't make it at the alternative date. So here I am. Basically, what happened was when we decided to record, our illustrious municipality, who have been battling with the electricity for some time now, shall we say, we were in the middle of recording and we had a power out. The fun part of that was the next day, they had scheduled a 16-hour power out, which they went ahead with. So we were basically without power from about 4 o'clock on the one afternoon right up until late evening the next day. So here I am recording this podcast just for you. But yes, I am flying solo, so we're going to miss out on Courtney today, I'm afraid. And I'm very, very sorry about that, but it is definitely a fault from our side. All right, so we are carrying on with our self-care. And something that I think is very important to chat to you about is that, oh, shush. Sorry about that. He wants to take Courtney's part. Hey? Do you? Okay, you've got to be quiet. All right, sorry. No, Barkley, no. Stop. Okay, so something that we need to understand about self-care is that with regards to the way internet or social media convey self-care, it is the luxury baths and the scented candles, and everything has to be glamorous and aesthetic and pleasing and in pastel colors, and music follows us as we kind of glide down the passage and do all this. That's not that, I mean, if we could have that type of self-care, that would be magical, but it doesn't have to be that. Self-care can literally be crying in the shower. It can be just locking yourself in the car and running away for a few minutes. Self-care can be anything. I remember the one episode of Sex and the City where Charlotte locked herself in the cupboard just so she could have a moment. That can be self-care. The ugly crying is allowed to be self-care, as long as it does something to free you and to let whatever is going on loose, to let it free, to kind of lessen the pressure. I am one of these that kind of bottles everything up. So sometimes I would drive to work or be on the way back from dropping the boys off at school, whatever it was. And I'm telling you, I would scream in that car from frustration and irritability, like literally scream to the extent that it hurt my throat. But that release, getting all of that emotion out, was brilliant. The other day, yesterday actually, my son and I went and played squash. Now, the story here is I have not played squash, I think, since pretty much just after high school. I remember my sister she was dating her now husband. So it must have been after school. It must have been after school. Must have been after school. That was like the last time that I actually played squash. So way before my children were born, and way before I got married. So he decides he's been playing squash at school and said, "Come on, we're going to go." I said, "All right." But I must say, I thought I'd be so stiff today, but I'm actually not, which is a relief. A little bit stiff in the back and like kind of around the Achilles tendon area. But I thought my arm would be really, really sore. It's not. So I'm quite impressed. And I managed to hit the ball. I said to him, "Bonnie, just understand, my child, when I make those shots," because I was getting some quite clever shots. I said to him, "Please understand that when I make those shots, they are not planned. They are absolute fluke. The fact that I'm hitting the ball is absolute fluke." So anyway, but the point of my story is that just being there, concentrating on that ball, concentrating on manage to actually connect the racket to the ball, those types of things, and that form of exercise and such. So it wasn't just being on the treadmill where I could zone out with a YouTube video. This was This was like focused concentration. Do you know how much better I felt after that? Mentally, I was mentally clear. So, doing things like that might be your version of self-care. Going for a run, going red in the face, perfect. My training schedule is usually in at home with something on TV or whatever it is, and that means that I can be red in the face, I can sweat, and it doesn't matter. Nobody's there to judge me, nobody's there to see me. And I always joke with people and say, yes, I train to so that I don't end up hurting someone out of frustration or anger. So yes, that can also be a version of self-care. If you are wanting to like get out and you do want those very pretty versions of self-care, nobody's stopping you. But I don't want you to feel that because you can't make it aesthetic and pastel and pretty, that you are failing in some way, because you are really, really not. Something else, and I have done this before, that you can do as a version of self-care is send an angry voice note to yourself. Just in talking, you can actually release so much that's happening inside. You can just get it out, verbalize it, and that generally does also make you feel better. You don't have to send the voice note, or while you're in the car and you are driving back from somewhere, as long as if you are by yourself, I would suggest being by yourself, but let it out. Just let it out. Get it out of your body, free it, and then you can actually carry on with your day and feel better. The other thing to try is writing a letter. Write a letter to somebody who's hurt you, who's wronged you, who's upset you, even if it is to yourself. Do it. Don't feel guilty. Don't hold back. Write it. Get it out of your system. And then what you can do, which I see as well a lot, is burn it. Set it free on a beautiful ritual. You can even do it at midnight if you want to, in a white dress. I'm not judging. So you can actually do something like that, which is also just, it's lovely. Something else is like a brain dump before bed, meaning whatever is bugging you from the day, write it out, get it out of your system. I would suggest doing this at least half an hour before bedtime. At least give your brain, if you can do it earlier, like an hour or so before bedtime, that would be better. But just get whatever's bugging you from the day out. It's like it's freeing, it's getting rid of whatever is holding you back. So that's another, it doesn't have to be pretty. I think that's the biggest thing, is just, it doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be aesthetic. As long as it makes you feel better, that's great. And as long as it doesn't end up harming anybody else, that is great. So yes. Let's see what else we've got here. This is a goodie. I have made notes to make sure I don't forget anything for you. But one thing that I have learned, and I think COVID taught me this as well, being alone is very different for different people. So for myself, I love alone time. I really, really do. But I'm never quite alone because good old Barclay's here with me, or, the bird or whatever it is. But a lot of people are very uncomfortable with being by themselves. So try explore that. Try and just sit with yourself for X amount of minutes alone. Don't worry about scrolling through social media. Don't worry about being with your phone. Even if you want to sit down with a journal, sit down with something that you can, if you need to write something down or you need to do something about it, that's fine. But women are so busy, especially single moms, we are so busy making sure the lunch boxes are done, making sure our children are safe, making sure that everything is taken care of. And to actually sit down by ourselves and do something is very, very difficult. It really is. So I would like you to actually just test run it, see how you feel about sitting by yourself. I've noticed for myself, and it is something that I'm trying to fix and correct within my life, is when I when I sit and do nothing, I always have to keep myself busy. I have to be doing something. I have to be kept busy so that my mind can't think. It is a trauma response that my brain just decides to try and fix something, or it says, no, we have to sort this out. We've got to try and do this. We've got to problem solve. We can't be at peace, because if we're at peace, then I overthink things, and that then creates all sorts of other problems for me personally. So that's one of the reasons that I don't particularly like being alone without anything to do. So I do tend to fill my day and fill my time. Even going to bed at night, I have to have something playing in the background so that my brain can't think, or kind of make its own company. But I do like sitting with a journal and getting ideas or whatever, or emotions or stress or whatever it is, out onto the page. So try that as well. It is, for a lot of us, it is going to be difficult, doing something solo. And just the one thing I do, and this does work, and it is different and it is lovely because it has helped me to notice what is around me, is it was a phrase coined, I think, by somebody in New York, and they referred to it as naked walking. Now, everybody's, oh, naked walking? No, how could you? But actually, naked walking means walking without devices, walking without your phone, without music. They also don't use their watches or whatever. I use my watch because I'm tracking my progress. But they do naked walking, and they head out, and there's always one spot here in Hilton when I walk over the hill, and you've just got this unbelievable view of the berg and such. And generally there's clouds or there's mist, because I go early morning. There's mist and such, and it is just spectacular. It is so beautiful, and that just gives me such a sense of relief, because you see this beauty in front of you, and you can just take this deep breath, and the air is clean and crisp, and it is just glorious. There's sometimes frost on the ground or dew, and it's glorious, and it makes you breathe. It makes you take a gap. It makes you take a breath. It is stunning. So maybe that's an option for you to try. Then some quick things that you can test out and give it a try, so that you don't have to worry about, oh, I can't be aesthetic as the self-care says I should be. Here we go. You can eat in the car, meaning you can just disappear. Go and all that Easter egg chocolate that you've stashed, you can grab some of that, head out in your car, and just go and hide out there. Rot in bed without guilt. So you're allowed a lion, and sometimes, like a Saturday or Sunday morning while the boys are having a lion, this is only during holidays, unfortunately, but I'll lie there and watch a YouTube video or something, because that's quite lovely. But unfortunately, the YouTube video is generally me learning something or researching something or whatever it is. But I do love that. And last week we spoke about the earpods or earbuds being in, and that was the do not disturb. Test it out and then let us know if it actually works, because I'm dying to find out. I am going to sneeze. Okay. The other thing is avoid things on purpose. So sometimes you can just don't do it. If there's something that you really don't feel like doing, don't do it. Postpone it to tomorrow. If you can get it done, it is urgent, then I do suggest you do it today, but postpone something. It doesn't all have to happen right now because somebody else needs it. If it can wait until tomorrow, let it. Give yourself a break. The other thing, and this is a concept that I really do love, if your battery is only half full and you only have 50%, and you're giving that 50%, on that day, you have given 100%. Nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. We have got to learn to be gentler with ourselves. We've got to learn to give ourselves grace, to give ourselves the peace, and to actually just allow things to happen. So take take some time, find out what works for you. And this is going to be a fun experiment. It really is. It's going to be interesting to see how your body does react, or how you react, or how your brain reacts to taking these little gaps and trying to find out what works for you, so that you can, at certain stages during the day, if you are feeling overwhelmed, you can just go and lock yourself in the bathroom or fetch something from your car and go and take a little bit of time out. Go drive to the shops to go and buy lunch and scream in the car if you want to. Just give yourself grace and give yourself the freedom to just take some time out. And please know, I am preaching to the choir here. This is as much for me as it is for you. So yes, go out and test some things, find out what works for you, and see how it all goes. All right, so yes, it's a nice, short, quick one today. Like I say, it was just a disaster of a week, and things have gone totally out of hand. Some schools have started back, so there's sports fixtures and all sorts going on. So I apologize that Courtney wasn't able to make it today. We have missed her. I have missed her. I've missed her insight and her intellect, and the views that she brings. It's always fun talking to her. So yes, I have missed her today, but thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of our community. Please remember to share this, like it, send it to another woman who you think would actually benefit from this, because I guarantee every single one of us know a woman who is battling, who needs to involve herself with some form of self-care, but she doesn't actually know what to do. So this is a lovely way. It gives you freedom to be expressive. I actually have a boxing bag outside, and that, trust me, it is lovely to go and punch boxing bag when you really are having a bad day. So lots of different ways to actually just release the pressure and such that we do put on ourselves. So yes, tag those ladies that you think would need something like this. We look forward to seeing you again next week. This will be live on Spotify. We go live every Sunday evening at 7 o'clock, and we go live on YouTube every Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. So that is hopefully once all the little ones are in bed and tucked away, and you can actually put your feet up and relax while knitting, crocheting, doing your journal, etc., etc. Take a deep breath for yourself. Put us on while you're in the bath or whatever it is, and just take some time out for yourself. So thank you again for being here. We look forward to seeing you again next week, and have yourself the most inspirationally glorious rest of your day, rest of your week, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for spending this time with us. Follow, subscribe, and share Luxe Lens with the woman who needs it. We're rising together. We'll see you next week. Bye.